Hey everyone, Captain Hero Man here. Some of you may know me as Bruce P. or Bruce Powell from the Kickstarter comments for Castle Story and others. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate the Castle Story prototype a little bit, show some of the controls and what you can do. I'll start here with the main menu. It's pretty typical, except you've got a world editor button where you can go in and make your own islands. I've heard it doesn't work too well, or not at all, so you might want to try that out. I haven't done too much with it. There's also option menu with a debug mode, which I also haven't used, so you can try that out. These things won't be there. The debug mode probably won't be there when the game actually goes live. A word about saving and loading. Saving is buggy right now. If you save your game and load it back in, you will have twice as many Brictrons as you had. It also took a very long time for it to load compared to just starting a new game, so I'm not sure what that's about, but just be warned, it's a bug right now. You're not supposed to have twice as many Brictrons, so there you go. So let's start with a new game. Currently we have the prototype island that we can work with, that the devs have provided. So that'll load in, build little islands, and show everything here, and I'm going to talk about these menus in the upper right first. First being camera controls, and each one of these menu items, or these icons up here, has a little tooltip that pops open and tells you about it, but I'll explain them. Camera controls, pretty simple, but it'll take a little getting used to. Hold down the space bar, and then with the left mouse button you can track the camera around, and holding down the space bar, the right mouse button will rotate the camera. As you can see, if you use the mouse wheel while the space bar is down, it will zoom the camera in and out, like so. If you are not holding the space bar and you use the mouse wheel, it'll actually translate the camera up and down, so you can get it way far away if you want. You can see all your islands down there, lots of them. Okay, let's go back down here. This other button up here is the terrain flyby. That will keep your camera above the terrain. It'll always be floating above the terrain, and as you move around it won't penetrate through. This other one is X-ray vision. Whoa, that's a little buggy. That will make it so that you can see through things. Like if you build a tunnel, you can see through into the tunnel. Doesn't seem to work quite right. I'm not sure if it's doing the right thing yet, but that's what that's supposed to do. This other one is a day-night cycle. I usually turn this off. If it's off, it'll stay whatever time it is currently, forever. If it's on, it'll go through the whole day-night cycle. And when it gets dark, it's really dark. You don't have a way of making light sources right now, and it lasts a pretty long time. So if you want to be able to see what you're doing, I suggest turning that off first thing. All right, lastly, this is a system menu. There's a bug with this. If you open this up, the way to get out of it is not with this return to game button, but use the escape key. Hit the escape key to get out of that main menu. Otherwise, you won't be able to get back to this menu. It won't open up anymore. All right, so keep that in mind. Use the escape key to get out of the menu. But it's a typical thing. You can save and load and quit and whatever from there, but use the escape key. Okay, so you start the game with 5 Brictrons currently. There they are. You can right-click with something when the guy selected to make them move where you want. They all have names. They're all currently random, like from a database, I believe. To have them do stuff, build things. There are these groups down in the lower left. There's the build, mining, and lumber group, and also this group which tells you that they're not doing anything at the moment. So let's start building lumber, and the way you do that is you assign tasks to groups, and then you put Brictrons in those groups. So this lumber group, you would click this little lumber zone, and you would click with the left key where you want guys to build. And for some reason it makes 2 groups, so this second group is the one we want. This is the one we're going to get rid of. So to get rid of a group, click the X here and then confirm it with the check mark. So now this group has this lumber zone assigned. So let's put this guy, Banjo, in this group, and you can do that by right-clicking on the group, and now he'll go do whatever that is. Okay, so now he's gonna chop down that tree, and there'll be some logs. We need somewhere to put those logs, so under the build menu, where you've got all these different blocks and logs and things, there's this stockpile. You want to select that and click some of these down, so some stockpiles will be built so they have a place to put their resources. Okay, so here's something else to know. To get out of any tool that you've got selected, the only way to do that currently is to hold down the right mouse button to bring up this radial menu and choose back. And you have to be in a build menu to do that. You won't get it with lumber or mining, so you have to be in build. So if you get stuck where you've got a tool or like a phantom block or something, you can't get rid of it, click build, hold down the right mouse button, choose back. It's the only way to do that currently. Okay, so we'll assign somebody to build those little stockpiles. So he makes these little pallets here. You can select these and tell them to only accept wood or stone if you want. Let's make this and this and this only accept stone. Okay, so now we'll set up a mine. It's the mining group, and you can say take a mine or create a tunnel. I'll show a mine here quickly. The tooltip is sort of explains it, but it's a little clunky. So here you left drag out a mine area, let go of the mouse, and then if you move the mouse up and down, you can set a depth for that mine, and then click to let go, and it sets it. Okay. So here I'll show you another way to assign guys to groups. You can select guys up here, like this is the I'm doing nothing group. You can select them up here, and then you can either right-click on the group down here, or you can actually drag them from drag their little picture down into the group like that, and they'll start digging for that mine. And while they're doing that, I'll show you how to do a little tunnel, because it's a little weird. Let's make another group, hit the plus sign up here. Oh, and this will make Bricktrons, this little stop button will make them stop what they're doing. So it's like a stop and go or record and play. Yeah, see that? Okay. So make another group, hit the plus sign. Here's another group, and I'll show you a mine really quick. Click the mine, a tunnel. Click that. Click a tunnel, that's a tunnel entrance. So now, see this yellow solid bit back there? If you click that, it turns green, and then you can keep clicking on it, and it'll make the mine deeper. It's a little clunky because you have to keep clicking and clicking and clicking, and sometimes you miss. And also on the left here, you can make it wider with the side sections. Anyway, that would make a little mine, which you can keep making it deeper, like that. Okay, so we don't need that group. We're not going to make the mine. For some reason, it leaves these icons still around, even though there's no group with it. So I'm not sure what that's about, if that's a bug or what. But okay, so now we have some blocks, and now we'll show how to build some stuff. Make this brick here. You get these little phantom bricks, and you can rotate them with the right mouse button. Click, 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 and it rotates. And you can place them down. And if there's material, the Bricktrons, and you've assigned a group, they'll come over and start building this, whatever it is you've said. If you make a mistake in placing your blocks, for instance, like this, to get rid of that, you can hold down a shift key and click on it again, and it'll go away. I'll show you that again. Hold down the shift key, and on the Mac, for instance, by the way, I'm on a Mac, and you have to hold down the left shift key and click to get that stuff to go away. You can also do it with the bricks that are already made. For some reason on the Mac, it's the left shift key only that works and not the right one. Also, I'll mention about Macs, there's currently a bug where there's no sound. That's why you're not hearing any sound. There is sound on the PC, I know there's crickets and some music, but on the Mac build, no sound. So don't worry about that too much. Okay, one thing about these bricks to keep in mind is the Brictrons don't always lay them down in the same order that you clicked down the Phantom blocks. So they might not always be able to put down the blocks that you want because they're doing them out of order and can't get to them. You can help that by, you can build stairs. With these logs and planks, you can build scaffolding. You're supposed to be able to also build bridges, but I haven't tried that yet. So that can help. You can also build a catapult down here, which I haven't done yet, but there aren't any enemies to fight yet, so you don't need that stuff, but you might try that because it's probably fun. Let me also explain about these big blue crystals in the middle here. Those are for making new Brictrons, and I will demonstrate. So you can place some barrels down. And the way this works is if your miners dig up these little blue crystals like that, they'll place them in these barrels. And when the barrel is full, you can see that by clicking on it, it'll show a percentage. When the barrel's full, and if it's near a big crystal like this, it'll make a new Brictron. If the barrel's not full, and I'm sorry, if the barrel's not nearby, like if it's over here somewhere, you need to have a Brictron pick it up and bring it back to the big crystal. And to pick up a barrel, you can select a guy, right-click on a barrel, and he's got it, and then you can, with the right mouse button, direct him where to go, and then to place it back down, it's the shift key again, but it's the right mouse button to drop it, like that. So hold on shift key, right mouse button drops the barrel. Another thing about barrels is when they're full, there'll be a different button up here that will say explode, and it turns the barrel into a bomb. If you click the explode button, a little fuse will appear on top and burn down, and then it'll explode, big explosion, and send rocks and stuff everywhere, and it will kill your Brictrons if they're too close, so be careful about that. Let's see. I think that's about it for now, so I'm going to sign off. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular you'd like to see demonstrated, and I will make some more videos. But I hope you learned some stuff, and this is Captain Hero Man signing off. Until next time, okay? Bye.